In the beginning of the school year, when we first started this class, we had a speech to do and talking about the person that was most important to us and gave us an examples such as my dad. Well, while I was presenting that speech, I got anxiety such as palms sweating, not knowing how to talk, and nervousness. This is caused by how things work in your brain and how you had to comprehend and do these things to be able to present a speech in a very good manner. So I'll be talking about how to overcome those fears and what I can do to be able to present as a better person. Public speaking can be very hard for some people. For example, it could be very hard for me because it's my first time presenting in front of an audience or talking in front of multiple people at once, and all those eyes just staring at you make you nervous. For another thing that can happen is being able to stutter over what you're talking about, and then your hands getting sweaty, then you troll off into something that you don't know what you're talking about. Something that can be helpful during that is being able to take deep breaths by breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth, because that helps calm your nervous system, saying it's okay, you're fine, you're going to do what you have to do to get this over with. Another thing you can do is having small little notepads that can help you remember your speech and give you pointers, like you can put 3 little dots to make sure you have your 3 citations ready. Another thing that you can do, let me see, is that putting transition words into your speech, such as however, but, and to make it longer and be able to transition through your speech faster and easier. You can determine whether someone has low or moderate high levels of anxiety when they speak. You can do that by just listening to them. You can also do that whenever their body language. You could tell the hands in the pockets, the hands behind their back, tapping or leg bouncing, not being able to make eye contact with the audience in front of them, because whenever they see people watching them and they don't get that, they get that feeling of I don't know what I'm doing, or they go blank. It could also tie into performing, like for example, performing a solo in front of an audience, in front of a auditorium, can be stressful because you have all eyes on you, and then that can make you go blank if you haven't memorized. That's happened to me before, because performing in front of an audience is not something I like to do. It can, however, that can also help you be able to talk in front of an audience, because you are performing, doing something that's basically talking like that. And some of these, the way we discovered, or not discovered, but researched some of these on how to be able to control what you can do on stage or talking, basically, is by looking at Harvard how to improve your public speaking skills. It doesn't have to be perfect, but most of the time people want it to be perfect due to needing that comfort that I did that well. I needed to do that well, because if not, it would feel like you're a failure. Something that also ties into the anxiety is what experience have you had before. Experiences what you've had before also play a role, because sometimes you may have not had the best speech, but it could also be I've had the best speech and you want to make it as good as that, because sometimes, like, you can have one of the best speeches of your whole life, and you want to show that speech again, and you do it at another event, but it could have not gone as well because something happened, or your anxiety got to you, your nervousness. Many times nervousness gets to you before. Something that you could do before and ahead of time is going over your speech once, and then before you go onto stage, look at your pointers and look at what you need to do to be able to accomplish that. Because something that you can overdo, is overdoing your speech. And when you overdo a speech, you can forget parts. You can not necessarily not do well, but it can also cause memory errors, because your brain already knows what it wants to say. But once you have it repeat and repeat and repeat, it can also cause more nervousness. What if I forget this? What if I forget that? It causes that area of disruption. Many times, you can also see people doing better at speeches than you. like I want to be that person. So try not to focus on things such as I want to be better, I want to be as good as them. You had to focus on yourself and what you want to talk about, because some people may be really good at speeches, and you'll get there soon enough once you have that practice and that time that you want to do. And it's helpful whenever you have someone there for you that's close, that you feel comfortable with talking to and presenting in front of them. And it's very difficult time, and it's weird to be able to talk like that, but at the same time you had to have that practice and that that motion towards your speeches, because if not, it would just go downhill from there. Sometimes you can have excessive focus on something by saying the same thing overs and overs again. For example, you can hear whenever they're citing, they cite the same thing multiple times, but it doesn't get nowhere. They say the same thing in one area, and it's not going nowhere from there because they are hyper focused on that one thing, because that's the only thing they can think of at that moment. And it can give such a anxiety. Like, for example, what I'm doing here right now, I can repeat a lot of things what I'm saying, but it's very nerve-wracking because you want to say more than what you already know, but you don't have that knowing what you want to say because it's your first time having a speech, or it's your first time being able to talk in front of an audience. And things that can help with that is, like I said before during in this speech, that you can have that comfort by having someone talk to you, or don't read over it so much. That's what you can do. Another example what you can do is just relax before you go on stage. Talk around, talk to other people you may know, get advice from people you may not know at all, because that's very helpful whenever you get a point of view from someone that you don't know. And that's also said in Harvard's education system, where you need to talk to someone that you don't know to be able to get advice and some like corrections that you may want to put into your speech for the next time you do it, because it's very helpful with that. Many parts of basic communication comes from speeches, but you don't realize that you're basically giving a speech when you are talking to someone. It's but it's only one person. But when you're talking about that to multiple people and you have all eyes on you, you can realize, oh, whoa, that's a lot of people listening to what I want to say. Something that can also help is listening or looking for the audience's attention. Because once you see the audience has your attention, or you have the audience's attention, you can be able to continue your speech. Okay, well, they're paying attention to me. I'm doing what I can do. This is what I'm going to do right now because I'm entertaining them. Something that you can also do if you're nervous, you can also communicate with them, like saying, oh, this is my first time. Don't mind my errors, but I want to talk to you about this. And you could see what people are interested in, how they affected you. This is why having anxiety, nervousness can be good, but also can be very fearful. This is all that I have to say about how you can get over speeches and what you can do and what are the causes of that. Thank you for your time. I hope you understood and very clearly what I was trying to get my message across.